As you start up Dark Souls, you'll be shown an all-out war with monsters versus dragons just going at it. And while you may feel confused watching these beasts fight, it's just pretty awesome to watch. Soon after, we find out that the dragons lose this war, and that begins our game. We start off in a cell in some type of dungeon where we're given a key by a knight and open the cell, and that begins the all-out amazing game. Since the game lets you choose your class and background, you aren't really given much of a story other than you're a guy or a girl and you must save the world. That sounds all too familiar. The story isn't really present throughout the game. Your missions are usually simple, and even with a group that you can join, none of them are really fleshed out. In terms of people who speak, there may be like 20 or 30 NPCs throughout the entire game, and their lines are very limited. So what draws you into the story of Dark Souls, you ask? For me, it's the lore of the monsters and learning the background of the world. It's always interesting for me, and while I do hope for future installments to have a little bit more of a story, this doesn't really bother me all that much. However, if you're an RPG fan who's looking for the next epic storytelling adventure, you'll not find it in Dark Souls. Right away, probably you'll notice that the graphics are pretty stunning. The moody and dreadful atmosphere is almost captured too well, and if you're a depressed little child, you might want to stay clear of this game. While some places are dark and moody, other places are just beautiful and lit up just perfect that you get the wonderful look of the garden or dungeon. While other places like the catacombs will make you feel condensed and worried about what might pop up on the next corner and kill you. The game gives you plenty of different areas, each feeling very different from one another. Possibly the strongest part of the graphics is the amount of detail put into each and every monster design. While the environments are all pretty amazing, the monster designs is where it shines. You'll literally face tons of different types of monsters, coming from a gigantic Venus flytrap vagina looking dragon with a tiny lizard head, to a one-legged beast who shoots lightning, to a gigantic butterfly, to a giant wolf. The game really never lets up, and when it comes to the different designs, it's pretty awesome. Sure, some of them are dull like the skeletons and undead, but the rest of the monsters make up for it, and the game looks just very interesting. I see a few pop-ups once in a while and some frame rate issues, so if you want to nitpick, those are present in the game. But hey, sorry, I was a little bit too busy slashing away at monsters and dodging to give a shit. I clearly won't be able to cover everything the game has to offer in the gameplay section, but I will try my best to give you a decent amount so you get the idea. Gameplay wise, Dark Souls takes what worked in Demon Souls to make it even better. Instead of sections like Demon Souls had, Dark Souls makes one big open world. Every single part of this world is connected, so there is no loading or areas like 1-1 or 1-2. It's all a huge place that's connected. It's even better when you travel the area, which is a huge part of the game, exploring and finding shortcuts and different ways to get to the new areas. Exploring is something Dark Souls does pretty well, and while some of it may feel linear or on rails to get to places, the way it seamlessly blends is pretty awesome. Now, the combat of Dark Souls isn't radically different from Demon Souls, but this is a good thing. Why change something that works so friggin' well? Dark Souls combat system focuses on planning ahead, learning patterns, countering, blocking, and rolling. You'll want to adjust to the actual combat the way your class or the way you play is based on. If you're a knight with tons of armor, your mission for the most part is to get close, block, and then strike. Chances are you can even take a few hits without falling and still slash away at your baddies. However, be warned, even the heaviest armored player can be killed in just a few shots. If you're a pyromancer such as myself, you'll want to use your fire magic to give you a few shots in advance, giving you a slight advantage in battle. In doing so, you can hit ahead of time and then roll out of your way and rise and repeat till you feel safe enough to roll in and strike and kill the enemy. Block, counter, roll. These are the three best friends in this game. Block is great for you, but the stamina bar will drop relatively quickly. Roll is perfect to not take any damage at all, but you better not be wearing a lot of armor, otherwise you'll move slow as shit. Countering is all about timing, but if you do counter, chances are you'll kill the enemy that you're facing or at least hit him for major damage. The other thing that Dark Souls heavily relies on is the mix and match of different armor and weapons. Mattering your playstyle, you can wield swords, axes, and pikes, and so on. You'll want to find the right combination and upgrade, which will require a bit of farming, but this is an RPG, so that's to be expected. If all of the warning on other reviews or even the back of the box hasn't gotten to you, here it is. This game is fucking hard. I'm talking about, I'm gonna grab this controller and chuck it across my goddamn room hard. Basically, like Demon Souls, Dark Souls is the hot and cold effect. 1 second you're doing good, then all of a sudden you see a boss and he two-shots you and then you are dead. And that would really piss you off. You want to fling your controller, but then you learn, hey, maybe I should have striked him this way or took the situation a different way. Then you want to complete it. And then when you do, it's like the proudest moment in your life. In the words of Akon, I just had sex and it was great. And you get that familiar feeling when you take down a monster who has killed you over 10 times. I will quickly go over the co-op feature since it feels important. Other players online can leave behind messages to help you get through places or leave you hints. On top of that, in human form you can summon players into your game. Be aware though that while you're in human form you can get invaded by another player and he can kill you. While I played almost the entire game by myself, the game sure does indicate that co-op can enhance the experience, and it sure does. When I summoned some players to help me beat bosses, it was pretty awesome, and it was cool that we can go back and forth with strategy. It's a unique online, and a pretty good one at that. My only real complaint about the entire gameplay section would probably be the camera and the lock-on system, and it can be a hell of a time to control sometimes. It sometimes has trouble keeping on whoever you're facing, and it gets caught up in an enemy who is way off screen instead of the one who's charging at you and is right in front of you. Either way, a very small complaint like that, I can't really take down much of a point, can I? But it is a complaint nonetheless. Dark Souls is that rare game that comes along and doesn't have a billion advertisements. It doesn't have guns. It doesn't have an epic story. It has gameplay that'll take you a long time to master. Its length is somewhere in the 40 to 60 hour range. Its design is unique and visually stunning. It's a game that will make you have an aneurysm 1 minute and an orgasm the next. Dark Souls is simply that game that it comes and blows people's expectations away. Without a doubt. For me, it didn't really blow me away. In my case, I thought it was going to be amazing, and that's what I got. An amazing game. A nice upgrade from Demon Souls. Probably one of the most unique games I played since Demon Souls. Now, before you see my score or hear me say it, why has Whitey given so many games a 9/10 this year? Well, let me make it clear that I'm not IGN. Another thing is, let me make it clear that in the past few years, I haven't seen this many amazing games. Dark Souls is clearly a game that deserves attention, and I plan on giving it a score it deserves. I also stick by the rest of my high-end score games. Dark Souls belongs in the same league as Dead Space 2 and Gears of War 3. It's a must-own for any gamer and one of the most unique games I played this year. But if you are prone to having a heart attack, stroke, or an aneurysm, I would stay away from this game for just a little while. With my few nitpicking problems, I probably could give this game a 9. I really do want a little bit more of a story in the next one, and I hope that the camera and lock-on system improves. But then I look back, and I remember how much I loved slashing away at these amazing monsters, jumping into another person's game and killing them, or helping them, or just collecting materials. Even that was fun, or exploring. So with that, I'm going to give Dark Souls a 9.5, a definite upgrade from Demon Souls, and an almost flawless game in its genre. No average dude, or I know what you do. When you look at me, you wonder what I might do. He reviews and raps too. He sees the top and flies through the window of opportunity to beat you and spite you.